Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Yes, it's been a while. It's a brand new year. This is the tNb Gaming Podcast live from the Gaming Pantry and from around the UK with our guests and panel this evening. Hope you're all well. Glad to have you back here with us once more for another exciting year on the podcast. And those of you who've been part of this for the past few years or so, thank you very much indeed for your continuing support. It's always good to have you here. And if you are new to the podcast, thank you very much indeed for popping along and showing us some support. Right, let's get the band. So out of practice. So out of practice, and the fact that half the people who are meant to be here haven't turned up yet, but I can fill until then anyway. Let's have a quick look through the chat to see who we got in this evening. Rock and Roller here was here first as always. Hi to you. Evening to Mark, Geordie Slasher Gaming. Happy New Year. It's not too late to say Happy New Year. You can say Happy New Year in March if you wanted to. If you've not said it to somebody before, that's all good. What have we got here? 37 Retro. Hello, good to see you. Mrs. Bear is here. Ian, Sam Hain Gaming. Good to see you. Ross Bohoho. Lovely. Rob, F6 Retro Gamer. Good to see you here, mate. Looking forward to this one. JBTV. Hello again. Good to see you. Paul Retrobait. Evening to you. Lee Nerdy Geezer. Evening to you. And Sean Horatio Van Basten. Evening to you as well. Nice to see some familiar names and some people we don't usually see here on the chat. And Paul's here as well. Oh, Paul's not here. Okay, well, contrary to popular opinion, Paul, you are, because your name appears there anyway. Right, yeah, as I mentioned, we got with the guests lined up this week, and we've got a couple of people on the tNb to come in, but at the moment I've only got my guest available. Other people are running a little bit late, so you'll have to bear with us. We'll do a little bit of a waffle to start with. So let's bring in my guest, because he's the only one waiting, and I've got no choice really to bring him in. He's a familiar face. You'll know who he is as soon as he comes on. It's my mate, Lee, the Retro Chef.
How are you doing? You good?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Happy New Year to you, Ben.
And to you as well, and probably different for you being on the other side of the coin, so to speak, on a Sunday night at this time.
Yes, normally I'm looking at the comments, dragging them over, looking at the bottom of the faces of the people, bringing them in. So it's nice to be the other side of it today.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, it'd be different, I suppose, really, because I haven't done this before. Even to Gordon as well, who's here. Yeah, just waiting for a couple of lads to turn up, but Lee's here anyway. So good to have you on, Lee. Lee's picked this week's subjects, which you would have seen from the title card, which was put up. We're talking about gaming backlogs. Well, I've had a lot of backlogs over Christmas, which tends to be a result of overeating. But we're going to talk about what we're going to try and clear down this year, what games we're going to play, and also talk about consoles that we perhaps may be looking to invest in or that we would like to get hold of that we haven't already partaked in. Now, I had a quick chat with Lee before we started, obviously because the guys were a little bit late. Lee, what have you been playing recently that you can talk us through while we're waiting for a couple of the lads to pop by?
Yeah, so Metroid Dread I've been playing quite a bit. I haven't finished it yet. Pedro, obviously.
Blood cloths.
Our Jamaican Birmingham friend. I've been playing Metroid Dread. Really good game. It's so strange to say something like it plays like the old games, as in respect of it's 2D but 3D at the same time, because there's elements of when you change angles and you fight bosses and stuff. It's got a nice mechanics to it. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but it's got a nice mechanics where you can block and whatnot. The characters you go up against are quite tough. There's lots of mini bosses, whereas there's one big boss. There's mini bosses as well. Really recommend that. I haven't finished it yet, but I will do soon. But that's an awesome game. And then
what else we got? Gordon says evening, chef.
Hello.
Paul says, chef, you did sort that hair out.
I know. I've just literally because I had a shower, obviously, because I knew I was coming on your. I didn't want to smell bad for you there. So I can't
smell it from here. It's not smelly vision. You know
my laptop allows you to smell. You smell wonderful.
Do I?
Yeah, you smell great.
It's that new perfume I had. That Beyonce perfume I had for Christmas. It's working wonders.
So I washed my hair now. It's like so. Yeah.
Okay. Gem Pixels here. Yes, he did. Yes, he did keep it quiet because I did ask him to. So I always have to guess to keep quiet.
I kept it very quiet. I've been speaking to Pedro today, and
and you've been speaking to Ian as well, by the looks of it as well.
Yes.
Yeah. I always ask the guests to come when they call them. Don't keep it quiet, and because it likes to be a bit of a surprise when people turn on and find out who it is. Going back to that Metroid game, how does that compare with previous entries in the series? Is it a departure from the standard playing mechanics, or are they trying to improve it? Or
so the main game is like a 2D platform in respects of like Super Metroid. Because that's the closest you would call it to, because the way it plays is very like that. You upgrade your weapons a lot. You get different stuff. You can cloak, go invisible. There's like a gravity hook. There's lots of new weapons to get in it. Obviously, you get different suits, and then there's these enemies called Emmys. You can't really. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but it's like a robot, different kind of robot.
And if I can remember to you, it's been a few weeks. Let me try and give you a big screen, mate. Hang on, there we go.
Yeah, so these robots here, the Emmys, EMMI, I forgot what that abbreviates to something. They're ruthless. They will kill. They don't mess around. You have to hide from them when you see them until you level up. Every time you kill one, you take their ability. So whether it's to run fast or to jump high. So it plays very much like the original, the Super Nintendo, Super Metroid. But the graphics are awesome. The story's great. And I can't wait to proper finish it off and then go back and play it again and try and get all of the hidden stuff. But it's really good. I was really impressed. We waited some time for a really good successor to Super Metroid, because the other Metroid games, as much as Metroid Prime on the GameCube, they're very enjoyable, but I prefer the 2D style ones, if I'm honest, rather than the 3D kind of ones.
It's good to see a new Metroid game as well on a main platform. I know there have been handheld variants, which I am unaware of, but it's nice to see a brand new game. It's one of those series which perhaps fell by the wayside a little bit, and was I think it had obviously released on the Wii, but there wasn't one on the Wii U. I know it went on to the handheld 3DS, I think it was. So it's nice to see a new one.
We got Metroid Prime 3 Corruption on the Wii, Metroid M or Mother M or whatever it was called, which was
Other M, yes, yeah.
Other M, that's it. That was
It's a Marmite game, that one. You either like it or you don't.
Samus Returns on the 3DS, which is I enjoyed that. I thought it was good. It wasn't terrible. And then the other one was a Metroid game, but not a Metroid game. It was a Metroid Federation, I think it's called, where you're not actually Samus. You're like some outer space galactic alliance where you go and do. I've got it. I bought it for $4.99 from Argos when Argos was selling the games for dead cheap, and I've never actually played it. So, but I heard it's pretty rubbish.
Oh, right. Okay. Pete Fighter's with us as well. Even Pete, Big Duncan is here as well. Woody Weeble. The backlog is real. It is.
There's some serious backlog.
There is. Yeah.
We'll talk about it later. Bloody hell.
I wish you all had smell-o-vision as a stench I'm producing deep inside my dressing gown is beautiful beyond belief.
Dressing gown, proper old school, the old dressing gown.
Oh, he is, and he's got a cigarette holder out as well at the same time, and his hair slicked back in front of the fire with a port in his other hand. Rock and roller, good evening, mate. Mr. Tapman, loving the Jack Grealish look.
Yeah, well, I'll try my best.
Rob says you only ever speak about this game and Mummy Demastered. Well, you playing that the other day, weren't you? So.
Listen, Mummy Demastered is such a good game. I can't believe that I'm the only person. Well, I'm not the only person. There's me, Dylan, and Champion 2D Rob. This game is awesome. I recommend anyone to get it, even you, Bear. It's such a good game. The music's awesome. It's not very long. You can finish it in 3 or 4 hours, or go back and really do more. But I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's cheap. Good. It's cheap to buy digitally as well, rather than physically.
Yeah. Nate from the Game Shack is here. Eddie Rollercore's here as well.
Hello, Eddie.
Duncan says his lads replaying Dread on hard.
Yes.
Beating on normal. Love the Game Boy Advance games.
Game Boy Advance games are awesome. Fusion and I can't think of the other one now.
Federation Force, I think Ross says there.
That's right. Hasn't got Samus in it. It's got some other characters, but I've not actually played it. I've got it. I've not played it.
We've also got 8-Bit Boy here. Good evening to you.
Yes, 8-Bit Boy. I've been hounding that gentleman to get him on Swap Shop.
Size here as well, Ginger Hippie. And Billy's here, Cast Strength Gaming Gamer as well. Right. Let's bring. Oh, excuse me. Let's bring in our one of our other panelists.
Nice.
Managed to arrive. It's a very warm welcome back to the tNb podcast for Gernaldinho Plays. Rob, good evening.
Hello, mate. You all right? Is it WrestleMania 18 today? And where the hell's Pedro?
Pedro's in his dressing gown. Probably stood by the window scaring the neighbours, I expect. How are you, Robbie? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. Permanently tired, but that's what comes with working permanent nights. So there you go.
No, it's good to see you back, mate. Good to see you. We'll come to your second, Rob. Lee, what's the other game that you've been playing that you wanted to talk about?
So I've got the I don't want to say the original, the other version of this, but my wife bought me this version of. I'm going to absolutely butcher this name. Ghost of Tsushima. This game, but this is the director's cut, which it's got all the DLC content, everything on it, and all. This game is I don't know how to explain. It's a bit like I always say Resident Evil, but it's not. It's a bit like Assassin's Creed in respect of what you level up, you do bits and pieces. It's a real good game, and if you've got a PS4 Pro, it plays awesome. I'm sure. Yeah, PS5, PS5 upgrade as well.
PS5.
Covering
that part of the world down here. PS5.
I was watching Hot Fuzz earlier. That's why. Yeah, it's an awesome game. So it's a Silent T.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's amazing what they get out of, like, graphically, what they get out of consoles when you start watching a movie. But yeah, it's really good. I haven't finished it because it balls hard, but it is good.
Are you playing it in black and white?
Yeah. Oh, so thank you, Gibbs. So in the beginning of the game, you can if you're really into your martial arts, Asian culture when it comes to martial arts or Japanese stuff and the samurai movies, you can play it in black and white with English spoken words or with subtitles, like you're watching a Japanese movie. It's so awesome. It's such a. I've never seen that before. So it's like you're watching an old Japanese Western, if you will.
Oh, right, okay.
It's really different. Honestly, Bear, it's a good game.
I just find it very strange that they called it a director's cut. Usually you associate director's cuts with films, and that's because they've got bits they put in that they've cut out, and they make a better, an extended version of it. So how does a director's cut of a game work?
Resident Evil 1 on the PlayStation 1 had a director's cut, didn't it? Well.
Yeah. It's like Bear said. It had the only extras Resident Evil 1 had was an extra room, a couple of extra outfits. I can't remember now, but this has got like a Legends. Legends Online, where you can be 5 different characters. One's like a stealth ninja. One's a thief. One's a samurai. There's all these different characters, and you level them up and you fight. It's definitely worth getting. But the director's cut is, I think this is about 60, 70 quid. It's a bit more expensive, this one.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are agreeing with you. Just saying hello to Darren, who's coming as well.
Hello, Darren.
Sean's pointed out Kurosawa mode.
Please, I've only scraped the surface of this. I started playing the normal one, and then when my wife bought me this, I started again, and then, like I said, it's what I've seen so far. It's epic. It's a bit. The other game that I was playing a lot of was Sekiro, which I probably butchered that name there. There's another samurai game, which is so hard. It's like Bloodborne. It's so hard that you just get your ass handed to you all the time. But this is a little bit more forgiving. So, yeah.
Yeah. Ian says, shoot me not a mushroom. Get your coat, Ian. I would like to play that in black and white style. Yeah, I thought Pedro, that would immediately pique his interest. Yeah. Obviously, he's interested
Pedro,
in film.
This is definitely up your street. The black and white version with the subtitles and the Japanese speech is unreal.
As Paul says, Pete says disappointing Kurosawa mode didn't have over-the-top sprays of blood.
Oh, fair enough.
Sega Zombie is here. Good evening, Scott. Hope you're well, mate. Retro fun for everybody. Good evening to you.
What a great name. I love that name.
Yep. Does X has a director's cut on a 360 as well?
Okay.
Ollie says playing Ghost of Tsushima himself at the moment on PS5 with Switch Active. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Director's cut of Resi 1 still didn't have all the content that the Saturn version had.
Okay.
Death Stranding has a director's cut too, doesn't it? If somebody knows that.
That game I bought, I never played it because as soon as I got it, everyone was slating it. I think I ain't even taken out the wrapper.
Silent Hill 2 has a director's. Quite a few of these. And I'm not saying it wasn't a common thing to find out, but I mean, if you're making a game,
yes.
Leaving bits out and then reprogramming it to fit all the bits in again. So it sounds a bit long-winded to me.
It's a strange term to use in a game. I think you're right. I think it needs to be collector's edition, or the Japanese edition, or whatever they want to brand it as, rather than director's cut. Because, like you said, it's like they're missing stuff out of the other game. If you follow me.
Yeah, Pedro's going to go around robbing old ladies. So if you live anywhere near that area, the Canuck area, just be Canuck Chase area. Be a bit careful.
Listen, Pedro's probably got like a couple of grand sellotape to the back of his washing machine. That's the kind of bloke he is.
Under the mattress, I think.
Yeah.
Eddie can use the options of his flat screen and make his games go black and white as well.
It definitely adds a dimension to this game. It's definitely worth getting it and playing it like that. I will do it once I've done it.
Retro Music, good evening to you, my friend. How are you? Hope everything's okay, and Happy New Year to you as well. And Paul obviously points out my shortcomings on the technology. That's how DLC now works. Director's cuts now tend to include DLC. Yeah, I think that's probably about right. Quick question for you, Lee, as well from Billy's. How's the new job going?
Awesome. It is so much better having loads of staff to run around for me rather than me running around like a lunatic. So it's really good.
Good.
Enjoying it. Thank you, Billy.
Rob, have you got anything to regale us with that you may have been playing recently at all, or?
Well, yeah. Since I was last on, I played a hell of a lot, haven't I?
Well, no, I know she's been last on, but I mean, anything recently that sort of sprung to mind?
No, I've pulled out a selection for the last few months now. I have. Well, the first one I thought, well, seeing as I've ended up getting this and biting the bullet and spending a voucher and getting it for 30 quid while CX popped it in the stock one day, I'd give it a bash. Ironically, that voucher probably made me pay for it what it was worth before it went on the backwards compatible program. Anyway, I digress. But do you know what? I was actually quietly, do I say impressed? I quietly enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I would. It really is just senseless running around shooting people, and it's done very well, actually. I actually ended up really enjoying it. So, I mean, I'm not into that style of music, the old rap music, got to be honest with you. But if you are, you're going to love this. And the funny thing is, like I said, not really into it, but I did actually enjoy the music as well. So, it's, yeah. I don't think it's worth the 30 quid CX sell it for, or what it's going for on eBay, but it is actually a good little game. It's actually a lot of fun. I've only got about halfway through it. I haven't finished it yet, but I have been enjoying it. Yeah.
I know you said that in your last pickups as well, didn't you? And it's gone backwards compatible. That's why it's gone up so much, isn't it?
Yes.
It's gone backwards compatible, and it's delisted. So, like, it appears on the Xbox Store, but you can't buy it. So the only way to play it upscaled is obviously to own a hard copy and then put it in your CEX and unlock it as a key, basically. You know, it basically becomes a key to unlock it online, sort of thing. But yeah, no, I was going to say, I'm quite impressed with it, actually. I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did, bearing in mind I'm not into that style of music, but the game was actually a lot of fun. One that went the other way for me, that I've started playing recently and playing the story mode of it, was I picked up at the London Game Market and actually paid the money for it because I actually really wanted it. Battle Fantasia, which is a one-on-one fighting game.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the characters you see there. It's fighting with fantasy characters. You know, you got knights and witches and things, and some real oddball-looking characters with triangles for heads wearing masks and things like that. Sadly, it's just not as polished and not as fun as I thought it would be. But then again, I played a lot of fighting games and a lot of the high-profile ones. But
I like the cover on that.
Yeah,
the art style is really nice. It's just unfortunately it's not great. Unfortunately, just I played through the story modes of it, and it's just something about the fighting mechanics of it. Just I don't know, just a little bit odd, and just didn't really feel as smooth and as comfortable with a controller as oh god, I picked the London Game Market. I literally paid the CEX price from a seller at the gaming market, but obviously I knew everything was in it, so I didn't mind. I think it was a tenner, or was it 15? I can't remember. It's like last purchase of the day sort of thing.
Oh, fair enough.
I can't remember.
Just before you get on, Rob, quick out to Marcus, who's popped in as well. Pete says he bought Blood and Sand at the right time. Pete on a retro tips here. Nice to see you, Pete. Thanks for calling in, mate. Good to see you. Ink Northern got his Blood on the Sand for £1. Eddie said he hoped he didn't sell that 50 cent to Al for 50p. More than likely, got a bargain there. Steve, Addy Sneaker Freak, got my blood in my poo every other day. Healthy stools. Good to see you, Steve. Thanks for calling in. We caught up. Yeah, okay, Rob. So sorry, mate. Carry on. Yep.
No, I was going to say I'll be all day, but talk about everything. But I'll just start a couple of driving games I played. I have played it. It's still sealed though. I picked it up at the London Game Market for £4, but it's on Game Pass, so I ended up downloading it. That is actually, I've enjoyed that a lot. Actually, it's very pretty to look at as well. Very smooth to play. Lots of different races, lots of different cars to use and modes like that. X amount of challenges, unlocks a showdown at the end. Have actually genuinely enjoyed my time with it. Also been playing the Forza Horizon 5, which has obviously come out lately. But the funny thing about playing that is it led to me actually going, well, I haven't quite finished with Forza Horizon 4, and there's loads of achievements I get out of that. So I ended up going back to that, getting stuck into that and wanting to get stuck into that before I moved on to Forza Horizon 5. Now, don't get me wrong, Forza Horizon 5 is a beautiful game. It's an absolutely beautiful, stunning game to look at. Plays where, honestly, it is brilliant, you know. But in comparison to Forza Horizon 4, which obviously was set in this country, 5 set in Mexico, and I just found the surroundings of, Mexico, I guess, that just to be a lot more bland and not as interesting as Forza Horizon 4. There's a lot more sort of scenery and things and stuff to do or see in 4, whereas there seemed to be a lot of desert and cactuses and shanty towns in Mexico, and that was pretty much it.
Is that not always the case? So all I seem to see on programs involved in Mexico is very, very poor living standards and people living in peanuts. And
obviously with Xbox, is if you look at the destinations of the Forza games they've chosen, like America, Australia, United Kingdom, and Mexico, they're all countries that Microsoft are big in. They're actually very, very big in Mexico and very popular in Mexico. So to stick it in Mexico was kind of a business decision, which was obviously going to be very popular with one of their most popular countries. So you can understand why they did it. But for me, it's just a lot blander than 4. And it's also I spoke to Ross Borhor about this. It seems strange that they went to Horizon 5 before they gave us another motorsport, which kind of lost that breaking them up as well. So you've gone from Horizon 4 to Horizon 5 and no motorsport in the middle like they normally do, and that's always nice that it breaks it up like that as well. So, but still, honestly, amazing game. I still love them. I still put hours into them. There's always something that sucks me in and holds me to play that game. I'll just do one more PR stunt. Oh, one more mission mode. Oh, go on, just one more game of this or one more. There's always something in them.
Yeah, Paul says he's not a massive fan of the Horizon games, but he might not be a massive fan of driving games in general. Rob says Horizon 4 was so good. So visually,
they're amazing. And if you like car games, they're even better. But visually, it's when you see them play on an Xbox One or an Xbox X or a 360, graphically, they're amazing. The Forza games.
Marcus says 4 was his least favourite. Ross said, wish they did another motorsport to break up. Found 5 a bit buggy and too samey. Gordon says that Need for Speed The Run is an underrated racing game. I think Hot Pursuit's an underrated game. I was surprised they remade that one.
Funnily enough, The Run is underrated by me because I'm pretty sure I've talked about The Run in the past. I think I did there was a video where you talked about games that not everyone knows about, and I mentioned The Run. The only thing that ruins The Run is the very short QTE sections where you're running from one car to another. It's just the racing sections are done brilliantly. The Run is an absolutely incredible game. So anybody that knows about the Run, I would imagine will have enjoyed it if they liked the series of games. The one that I didn't particularly like was he turns around and tries to remember it now. I'll get there in a minute. Pro Street. I didn't really like Pro Street.
See, I didn't mind Pro Street. I thought that was all right.
Yeah, but with the Need for Speeds, I don't want to play a track racer. So
my favourite was actually Need for Speed Carbon. I loved Need for Speed Carbon.
Literally the one I haven't played. I like the first Most Wanted as well. The first Most Wanted is really good.
I loved because Most Wanted on the Xbox 360 used to go for real big money. I don't know where it sits now.
Oh, it's still a 20 quid game. It's always held its price around about that sort of figure.
But Need for Speed Carbon I loved because you had the interaction with the characters, as in when you went to go to the area to race them, you got a little cutscene with that person, and I thought, I loved Need for Speed Carbon. But then I loved Need for Speed Underground, number 2. I thought it was probably my favourite one. So
Sega Zombies never played a Forza game at all. All right, sorry, Forza Horizon game. Sorry, Forza Horizon. Pete's played a racing game to beat Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. As I said, that's one of my favourite games. I really do like that one. Eddie started 5-2 soon after playing 4. It felt more like the same. Ross absolutely loves the Run. Pete's never played any Forza at all. There ain't no revs on the BBC Micro. I remember that from school. That was a great game, that was. Paul says Motorsport coming this year. I think they will go to a 2-year release schedule to avoid competing game from the same company. A Cannonball Run game will be good. There is a game on the PlayStation 2 called Gumball 3000, which I'm not going to try and reach because it's dirt cheap to buy it. It's not great, but it tries to recapture that spirit of the Cannonball racing. Rock and Roller says you can't beat a bit of Daytona. I've been playing Daytona over Christmas on the. I've been playing it on the PlayStation now. They've got the PlayStation 3 version up there, so I've been playing a bit of that. That was quite good to do, and you can stream that. You're going to download it, and it's really good. So, Blur is a game I've got to get a hold of.
Yes, you have.
I just never find a copy of it, Rob. Can't find a copy anywhere. Scott's been playing a lot of Burnout 3 in the shop. Yep. Sega Rally over Daytona. We could be here all night debating that. I think that's a good one. Pete says Blur is the daddy. Rock and Roller says Project Gotham Racing 4. Yep. Again,
both are good at each other.
They are, yeah. Nerdy Geezer Horizon Chase Turbo. I haven't played that yet, but I know it's a throwback, isn't it, to the old virtual racing type games?
It's for what it's worth. For it's not an expensive game, but it's such a good game. I loved it. It reminded me of Outrun and all those kind of classic ones. It's really good.
Thought 4 was brilliant. Played for hundreds of hours. Loved it. Saying basic use case. Switched 5 off after a couple of hours. Not gone back to it. Too similar to 4.
Pretty much
Project Gotham.
Yeah. Project Gotham Racing was awesome.
Yeah, as Scott says there, why did that series stop? I'm not entirely sure. Does anybody know why?
You got up to 3 or what did you get up to?
4.
4. Yeah.
I enjoyed them. I thought they were great.
Drive Club. I've got Drive Club somewhere, I think.
Yeah, I've got them.
There we go. There's the answer. Activision buying Bizarre Creations, possibly.
Okay.
There we go. HCT's a homage to the Lotus series. I remember Lotus.
Yeah, it's worth. I mean, if you got, I think it's on the Xbox One as well, and maybe on the PS4. But I've got it on the Switch as a digital download.
Okay. Anything else, Rob? You want to bring in, or?
No, I thought I'd just touch on that. Just touch on what we've been playing over the last few months rather than really dive into it. So if we start to going through indie stuff, we'll be here all day. But
that's all right.
Usual the score stuff, basically. But I can't really think of anything indie that's jumped out and grabbed me in the last couple of months, to be honest with you. So I was going to say, ironically, I have been trying to deal with the backlog. I've been playing more 1 and 360 stuff. So
yeah. Well, we'll get on to that in a second. We'll get on to that. Well, we'll bring in our final panelist because he's arrived. He is here. We can't keep him off. I don't think he's drunk. I think he just looks it. Just looks it. If it was smell-o-vision, probably we be smelling a gin and tonic or something by now. Anyway, it's very good evening to Sean. Oh, he's got a drink with his hand. There
Evening,
we go.
lads. Aye.
What have you got?
Happy New Year, Sean.
Yeah, same to you, mate. How you doing? All
Very
good?
well, thank you.
Yeah, we're all good, mate.
Good man.
Yeah,
Yes.
what have you got there in your hand, by the way?
It's a zombie cocktail, Red Dead
Oh.
Zombie or something.
Red Dead Zombie
Morrison's.
cocktail.
Oh, I've seen everything.
Yeah. I was presuming you had nothing in your other hand, otherwise that would have been quite embarrassing.
No.
But anyway, there we go.
I had to have this because I've just had some spicy chicken and my mouth were on fire, so it's cooling it down nicely.
Obviously, we've been talking about things we've been playing recently. Is there anything that you've been playing at all, Sean, that you want to share with us? Or
Not really. I've kind of got my arcade cabinet up and running. It's all pretty much painted now. I've put my TV in, I put my Pandora's box in just to fire it up and test it out. And I had a quick game of Metal Slug. So I had about a quarter of an hour on it, but a couple of levels. But other than that, mate, no, same old. And Lee, you need to get on. You need to get back on COD. No map. Why don't you like it?
I started playing it, and it's a lot of change, isn't it?
Yeah.
All the fireplace, the mirrors of dungeon. That's the east wing of Sean's abode. No, I will get back on COD. I played it a couple of times, and it's a bit too many trees and all this jazz for me. A bit palm tree in it, Pacific.
Yeah,
I prefer the old map, but
I didn't like it at first myself, I must admit, but it is growing on me. I should say it has grown on me. The more you play it, obviously you get to know your locations, you get to know your map, and it becomes more enjoyable. Still frustrating as hell. Getting rinsed from people higher up, but yeah, all good fun.
Well, we had a game of Fall Guys on Friday, didn't we? And we're still as bad as we were before. And yeah. So that's no improvement there at all since the last time we played it. Anyway,
when me and Joel left, did you get a win?
No. We got close. We got close because Paul joined us, and we started playing the trios, and we got to a couple of finals, but we didn't actually win anything. So same old. Just you sneaked that Game Gear game in there, Rob. Space Harrier.
Hey, Space Harrier.
For our good friend Sean. Yeah.
I actually had it. It's been in a few videos, sort of being held by Sonic over there as a little nod to Sean. I don't know if you ever noticed it, but there you go.
Fantastic, mate.
Well, we've got everybody here, which is great. So, hang on, we got other people coming in. Hobby Lodge is here. Good evening to you.
Evening, mine.
Let's see. Has Sean played Hentai versus Evil yet?
Don't even know what it is. Got a clue? Is it one of them pervert games again?
Is it a bit of blue for dads?
I love the way we have no way to tell if Robbie left or even died. He's here.
I've still got it.
Budget gaming.
I've got a sign. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's all right, Pete. Don't worry. I won't die on you.
Yeah. It's a recording. Yeah. Oh, dear. Budget gaming's here as well. Right, so as we're all here now, let's get on to the topic of the week, because we may be a little bit pressed for time because Lee may have to leave about 9:30. So we don't know yet. We'll have to see how we get on.
Have to change T-shirt again. Sorry.
Of course, I've got many T-shirts here. Ready to go through.
I think I didn't fucking know, didn't you?
Yeah.
What's T-shirt?
I got Essex Retro Game.
Retro Game.
my Retro 5 one on earlier, and then I've got a few more from the good people of YouTube. Retro 5 one. I quite like this. It's like back in the day when you were at school, you had a Lacoste T-shirt or a Armani T-shirt. Yeah. It's like I'm just swapping them out, but even I'm not the designer, they're just fucking printed T-shirts, isn't it? But it's that's how we are now.
I noticed you changed T-shirt because I'd actually pushed you back and pulled Rob's screen upwards, and I noticed down the bottom corner that you were half naked all of a sudden. It was a good job of changing cameras, wasn't it?
You got it for free, sweetheart.
Yeah, I know. Well, I can't unsee that now. That's the problem. We've also got a quick question from Rock and Roll. Did anybody pick up Perky Little Things on the Switch? Now, who was showing this off the other night? Was it Al? And he did live pickups with Paul. Yeah, he's still waiting for his Retro Bear T-shirt. That's true.
Yeah. So I'm still waiting.
I haven't got
one. And as you'll have seen in the previous pickups, anyone who gets me a T-shirt, the wall will wear it for a whole pickups video.
That's very true.
I can't believe you haven't got one, Rob.
I haven't got the right size for Rob. That's a problem. In fact, I probably haven't got the right size for both Robs. In all honesty, left over, so I have to get some more made. So, anyway, so yeah, we were talking about this week's subject of the week. Yeah, backlogs, and we'll talk backlogs first of all, because I'm pretty sure that we've all got backlogs that we're trying to work our way through this year for whatever reason. Lee, do you want to start us off with some stuff that you're trying to work your way through?
Yeah, so where last year I didn't play as much due to work, as you know, Bear, I missed quite a few of the wrestling talks, and I tried to do as much as I could last year, but it's awkward enough. But I've been going back through the Wii, my collection, and I pulled out a couple of games that I really want to start getting into. One, because these particular games, one of them's only on the Wii anyway, and one of them I did have on the PS2, but I could not find it. So, and I thought, let me try and buy it back, and it was like stupid money. And then I remembered I had this one on the Wii. Now, it's not a great game, but it's something that I want to play again. It's the SNK Arcade Classics 1, but there's only one game anyway. There's only one version of it anyway. But this is on the PS2 and it's on the PSP. But it's just basically just a selection of SNK Neo Geo games, really. There's not massive things to write home about, but it's just a nice little selection to play on a modern TV. Unless you go down the Pandora's box avenue, which is something else that I've got, which I'll do a video about later. But another game, which is goes. A lot of people don't. I don't want to say don't know it, because I hate saying that they don't know it. I just don't think people remember it's on that console. It's Castlevania Judgment on the Wii as well, another Wii game. Now this is a 3D fighting game, and the reason why I really, really want to get back into this game is that all the drawings are done by a Japanese artist who done all the drawings for Death Note, which is an anime which I really like. And say it's a 3D fighting game. It's only on the Wii. I don't think it's crazy money. I think it's probably 20, 30 quid. But it used to be really cheap at one point, and now it seems to be creeping up, because again, it's only I've only ever seen it on the Wii, and if I'm wrong, someone correct me. But I've never seen it.
I think the cheapest I ever saw that was about 8 or 10 quid.
It used to be really cheap, but
yeah,
it's gone up now.
It's like the SNK one as well. That's shot up quite a bit as well. I mean, it was always a fairly expensive game, but that's gone up in price quite a bit.
Yeah.
You say that's on PS2 as well, Lee? SNK?
It's on PS2. I'm sure. I swear I've got it. Yeah, Carl Spinner. I haven't played it yet. I know it's a 3D fighting game. The PS2 version, Sean, I think is stupid expensive. Now, I'm sure I had it, but I can't find it. But I'm still going to start bringing games down from my loft, because I haven't got all my games out. So I'm hoping I've got it upstairs. But so now I've got the Wii game, and it was on the PSP as well. It's the same. It's the same. I think it's 16 games. Yeah, 16 games. It's the same game on the PS2 and the PSP.
Right. I'll have to look out for that one.
Why have you picked those two games in particular, just out of interest? Because I mean, you can see. I mean, I've got hundreds of stuff behind me, and if I start compiling, I'm trying to narrow it down to something like stuff I want to get through this year. But why would you have focused on? Because I more associate you with more modern consoles than the Wii. So
what it is, I really love the Wii. I got it release day, in the first week of it coming out. I played the hell out of it. I thought it was completely a different approach Nintendo did. Obviously, Nintendo's a family company. as in it's very gimmicky and very, kiddish in respects of the games and obviously the characters. And I thought, you know what? I play a lot of the Wii U in my conservatory. I've got my Wii U, my Xbox 360, my PS3's in here. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to pull out some Wii games. And I went into this is outside in the cave. And I got quite a few. I've probably got about 150-ish games out there. And I thought, what games have I not played? And I know I've never played the Castlevania. Yeah. And I know I've not played that SNK arcade volume because I remember playing on the PS2. So I thought, you know what? I pulled them out and played them. And it's something I've not played in. I don't normally see, like, you guys and the other guys we watch, the Rob Essex Retros, the Nerdy Geese Retro Base, the Eddies, the Owls. I don't see him pull these games out. So again, I thought, you know what? Let me play something that no one's really pulled out. So that's why I pulled them out. And there's a few others
that's fair enough.
I pulled out as well that we'll go through. I've upgraded, so now I want to play them ones as well.
Okay, all right. Anything else you want to show while you're there? You got a couple of others to show off.
I'll tell you what else I pulled out the shelf. I pulled out some bangers, to be fair.
So you say.
I was talking about, I think a couple of months ago, someone pulled up a Shinobi game, the PS2 Shinobi game, on Swap Shop. I can't remember who. I'm going to say Champion 2D Rob.
It was.
He's just walked in. He's here.
That filthy animal.
Devil.
Yeah, I won't say it to his face because he's 7 foot, but I love him really. And he was selling Shinobi, and I remember there's a it's not Shinobi 2, but it's Nightshade, and it's held as the Shinobi 2 game. So I thought I'm going to pull that out, and I pulled it out. So it's Nightshade on the PS2, which I've never played, and I'm guessing it must play like Shinobi because it's a Sega game. Again, I think this is a £20-30 game, but I've never played it. So I thought when we spoke about it, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go out and get it and play it. So I'm looking forward to putting some time to that because I really did enjoy Shinobi on the PS2. I thought it got a lot of bad rep, but I actually quite enjoyed it, to be honest with you.
So, Eddie said it is quite a bad game, a hard game.
It's
and
not
there's a sequel with a girl in it.
Yeah. It's not a forgiving game. Yeah, that's the sequel, or however it's put. I don't know exactly how it's put into the timeline, but I know that's like a sequel, prequel, however you want to say it.
That's 2D in it. That one is it, or 3D?
No, it's 3D.
Ooh,
that's why the other Shinobi game was so hard because it was 3D. It is tough, but once you get used to it, it is a good game. And it's not crazy money, but a Nightshade, I think, is a bit more money than what it normally is.
Budget Gaming says he's got in his backlog as well, getting pretty hard to find. Glad I got a copy when I did.
I've got that for like £2, £1 from Game Generator. No, one of them shops, not Cash Generator. Cash Generator, one of them ones that used to be open and they've gone now. Something like that. I found it in there by luck. Literally, I was like, "Whoa, not seen this before." So, yeah, the 3DS Shinobi is a bit of a tough. There's a Game Boy Advance Shinobi as well, which is terrible. Oh my god, really bad. Do you want to show a few more, or you want to?
Let's go around. Sean, have you got anything that you hoping to clear this year in 2022 that you've been not got to so far?
I think I've kind of misinterpreted the subject. Backlog. I mean, I thought we were on about back catalogue, right? So I'm going to have to.
We're not talking about Index or Argos
or K's. Yeah.
Freeman's catalogue.
Yeah. It's a good subject for a future episode. Remember that one.
It is. The old Little Woods classic.
Oh dear.
Shall we come back to you while you scribble some notes down?
Yeah.
To bring you another drink.
Oh dear. I mean, I'm not specifically targeting like. I mean, you've picked individual games there. Like, I mean, I'm not looking to target anything individually. I know Rob asked me this question, mentioned it in the chat the other day about, we'll finally find out what I'm going to try and play this year. And I think I'm probably just going to focus on a couple of systems, but I haven't quite worked out which one. I'm probably going to maybe focus on probably at least one of the tape-based systems I've got. So it'll either the 64 or the Spectrum. I haven't got so much of the Amstrad stuff, so it might be one of those two. And then I may start working my way through the Master Systems. I'm collecting for quite a bit, so I'm collecting for that. I got quite a lot of games last year, so a lot of those I haven't even got around to playing yet. So I'd really like to try and get through a lot of those. And thirdly, I'd like to actually try and clear down some of my modern games that I've got, because as recently I've been picking up quite a lot of modern games. I've got a lot of reasonable amount of PlayStation 4 stuff down to get through. I bought Mrs. Bear: The Last of Us Remastered for Christmas.
Nice.
And because I think I bought Resident Evil 2 a few weeks back, and I thought, I must get around to playing that. And that was ages ago. So I interviewed Rob about his Desert Island Games, Essex Retro. So I was talking about that was a long while back. So I would like to try and get through The Last of Us. Now I've got this PlayStation now. There's obviously some games on there that I want to play through with that, plus my Switch as well, because I had another game for Christmas at Switch, but I haven't put a video up about it yet. So I'd like to sort of mix the really old school stuff. I started the 64 stuff last year with the Commodore Corner, so I'd like to carry that on. Definitely the Master System, because I'm going to try and set up in the other room and try and get through as many of those as I can, and then hopefully try and clear down some of the modern stuff as well. But a lot of it's going to get neglected, which is a real shame, because I think Horatio Van Basten mentioned ages ago, everyone's got a backlog. People are trying to do the 52 game challenge this year. You complete a game a week and all that. And I keep saying I ain't got time to do it. I ain't got time to sit down and do it. So for me to clear a backlog, this is going to be where I'm going to do it, and just blast through some games really, really quickly. I shall never finish most of them. I should start playing them, and that'll be it.
So why don't you make it easy for yourself? Do one a month. Do 12 games, one a month.
12 game challenge.
Well, that's right.
But that's one way of doing it. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't go very far, would it? But
you say that, but then it depends what you're doing. If you said console, okay, let's go back a bit. You said console, 12 consoles. Or 12 systems, sorry.
12 systems, yeah.
Sorry, 12 systems.
Yeah.
That might be doable for you.
Yeah. We could do one a month, yeah. I think that's a very good idea. I hadn't thought of it from that point.
Right, Dan, trademark it, done.
Xbox is another one. Again, I've got, I have plenty of the games. I have lots of both, Xbox and 360 games.
Do you know what the problem is as well, Bear? It's all of you lot and everyone else in the comments that cause fucking problems. Because I watched Goldtooth Gaming this morning and he's showing Xbox original games. I'm like, bloody hell, I forgot about that game. And I've got it now, I want to play it. And when I watch one of Rob's videos and he's showing, I'm like, for fuck's sake, that's why it makes it, the backlog is real. It's a real thing. Because all you lot keep showing, I keep showing, I've just showed games and people are probably going to go and want to buy them or play them now. So it's just one of them. It's just, we're all to blame. We all show stuff and we want to play it. So.
Exactly. And I do agree. I think that's as Pete says, that 12 games does make better than none. Makes sense. Then again, budget game beat 139 games last year.
Sure.
Christ.
Yeah.
That's
one good game a month is a good goal.
Sorry, that's one every 3 days. Yeah, bloody hell.
That's as nearly as many as Jim buys every week. Cool banner. Judging from his tally from last year. But then, one good game a month is a good goal. You see, but I've always thought I don't care whether the game is good or bad. I will play it. And to be honest with you, sometimes playing the bad ones is more fun. And to be honest with you, I would look at the bad ones first and go, do you know what? I'd rather play that and just see how bad it actually is. And usually I end up playing the bad games for longer. So
then like you just said, you might play a bad game, but you might actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
Just one of them, isn't it? Really.
You see, Sean said it makes more sense to do one a month and play loads for a short time than you actually get something out of the game. That's very, very true. Very, very true. I mean, we all admit defeat. I've said it, said it a million times before. A lot of this stuff now is never going to get played, ever. Some of it may sit there for the rest of its life until it gets moved on. It looks great.
It looks lovely.
I love it.
It's fantastic.
It gives me a lovely warm feeling inside. It's brilliant. but at the same time, it's going to sit there, and a lot of it ain't going to get done. So it's finding one way of doing it. Metroid Dread Music says modern games are too long sometimes.
Yeah, so that's another problem. Like you said, Last of Us. That's you can do it in a day, but you really have to put effort into it. Solid,
put the day in. Yeah, Rob says adult has any time to beat so many games. And still hold on a full-time job and make time for other activities, like streaming and videos and
doing streams,
eating. Marcus would rather just play good games. That's obviously subjective. 2022, the year we play all our games. That would be good. Pete doesn't do any other activities.
I've pulled out, like, say, a good mix of 8-bit, 16-bit, modern, Japanese, American? No, Japanese and PAL stuff. That's what I've pulled out to play, and that's my plan for this year, hopefully.
Paul mentions he's done 3 in 9 days due to Eddie wanting Al to play better games and me joining in. Then he's had the time off work to do that, which is what it is. Process, cut out, sleep. It's the only way to do it.
Makes sense.
Budget gaming, well, he said it helps that I'm retired. So, again, he's having the time on your hands for whatever reason. So,
last year.
Yeah. So, again, I thought I might have time last year because of that, and I didn't, luckily I didn't get furloughed. I had to work all the way through. So, I've got to, I've got to say the one side, I can't sort of say that was, a bad thing, because I was very fortunate to be able to carry on doing my work. So, I know a lot of other people weren't. Anyway, Rob, anything you're looking to clear this year you want to share with us?
Well, honestly, I had quite a decent year last year. I mean, I got 253,000 in gamer score, and thanks to the website trueachievements.com, they do like an end of year stats thing. And I did say to myself at the beginning of the year, like, I love my 360. I want to focus on my 360. And that website told me that in 2021, I managed to get 53,000 and something out of Xbox 360 games. I mean, if you get 1,000 G out of every game, plus a little bit more, that's at least 53 Xbox 360 games I played last year. But obviously, I didn't get 1,000 out of all of them, so I played a bit more. But I'm looking to do the same thing again. I'm quite, I don't know if I'm quite blessed or not, but I decided, obviously, I was collecting a little bit for this, a little bit for that, but I decided, I love my 360. It's going to be my focus, and that's where my focus has been, because that is a backlog I always intend on playing, because, like I say, I want to get achievements out of every game possible. So I made a good dig into it last year, and I'm hoping to do the same again. I mean, if I can hit 50,000 360 game score again, that'd be amazing, because that's a minimum of 50 games, but you're not going to get 1,000 out of all of them. Just online stuff not being available, and difficulty and time, like you said, or like we're all saying here, is going to be a thing. But that's where I want to aim. I mean, I've picked up half a dozen power games. Obviously, I'm going Japanese and American nowadays with collecting, because I've got those 2 consoles as well. And literally every time I look at that wall, I'm like, oh, I want to play that. I could literally bring up a much bigger pile. So a couple that are definite guilty sins of not to play, because I think I picked this up quite a while ago because I really wanted to play it, and I still haven't played it. And this is, I'm glad I picked up when I did, because I think I picked up for £8. I think it's gone up to about 20-25 now. And yeah, I need to get around to playing it, and I will do it this year. I'm saying that. But what else have we got? Another one that I've pulled out. I mean, I haven't played this. I hear a lot of people say this is so good because it's bad or something. But again, I picked this up ages ago and still ain't played it. It's been remastered, isn't it, as well, recently?
Yep.
So
I've never heard of that one at all.
That's another one I want to do soon, this year. But like I said, I'm trying to sort of look at the titles I really want to play and get them to the forefront, before some of the other lesser titles. But like, I went into CX one day last year, and when I go into CX, I have a habit of picking up a lot of like £50 or £1 games that I don't have for 360, which pretty much doesn't happen anymore because either the price has crept up or I've already got them. And I popped this on the counter. I don't know if anyone's played this. And the geezer behind it was only £1. It's still only £1 now. And the geezer behind the counter went, I remember when that came out. That's an absolutely amazing game. I had so much fun with that. And I'm like, right, that's me bumping it up the list now.
Yeah.
That's a good game.
No idea what it's about.
Yeah, but it's LucasArts, so it can't be that bad.
It looks all right, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know, I can't remember. You told me that story before, Rob, or somebody else told me exactly the same thing when I bought it.
It might have been me, mate. We did talk
it might have been you. It might, yeah, we do. Yeah, when you said that, I thought, that sounds strangely familiar, that story. I'm sure I've told it myself. I heard it before, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I've got loads of games like that. People told me when I bought them. Oh, I remember playing that when it came out, and I go, oh yeah, well, in that case, I'll give it a go. And I never have done.
Well, another one I only got a couple of months ago, again, which is only a cheapie. A lot of people go on about this.
Yes,
I only picked up a couple of months ago. I know it's old some big American guy's hidden gem on the 360. He raves on about this one. I picked up, say, only recently as well, but this is meant to be a really good one. And so I've kind of had this one in my mind as well to play.
That's a game I could like, I think.
Mm. Yeah, you like it.
Well, it's got a gun on it, so that's Sean's.
It's also first person as well. It is also first person as well, so it does look like a game.
It's a farming game with guns.
I'm pretty sure you can get it on the PS3 as well, Sean, so look out for it, mate.
Yeah, yeah.
Hidden gem is Fracture.
LucasArts
is not a seal of quality. Says a man with another costume change at the top right hand corner.
There we go. I don't have t-shirts, so you won't see my name. There we go. We'll chuck that in there as well. Add that for ages and all.
I did not get on.
I picked that up again before it hikes. I got that for £4, like again a couple of years ago. Still not played it.
I didn't get on with that game. I did not get on.
Yeah, I think that's what might have pushed it back for me a little bit, because a lot of people say that, like, you know, it's 3D, isn't it, rather than 2D like the old games. Yeah. Apparently, the old games are on there; they're unlockable, or they are just on there.
I think they're unlockable, but I could be wrong. It's been a long time since I've played it.
Did you not get that in a red case originally?
I've got Well, actually, the red case is in the in a box with my other case variants, but Sean actually got me this one. But I bought a red case one for £4. Yeah, Sean actually sent me this when we were talking about someone's video that I'd seen, and they picked up a gate. They picked this up, and I didn't have it, and you saw that, and you thought you'd do a nice thing and pick it up and send it to me, and then I bloody picked it up at the same time in a red case. But I never give away a gift, mate, and it's in my eyes I've got a case variant, even though just because it's in a red box. But you know, so no, I never get rid of them. But I didn't want the red case in the wall, sort of making the rest of it look a little bit out of place for all the other green cases. The red one's in the box of duplicates, but So, but I mean, I might as well get them all up. But the only other one I picked up was there's a load of Transformers games on the 360, and I keep meaning to try them. But this one kind of sticks out to me a little bit more because it's animation, I guess, or a cell shade, perhaps.
Yeah. It's the characters from Generation 1 as well.
Yeah, I've never played a Transformers game. And this one just because of the animation.
It's all right. It's one of them, innit? If you like Transformers, you'll play it. It's not. Once you finished it, you won't go back to it. But it's cool to see Generation 1 characters in a game.
But yeah, I could go back to the wall and pull loads more out, but they were just half a dozen that I pulled out that I've sort of highlighted to do. And I could also mention the fact I've never played an Assassin's Creed game and got them all, but we won't go there.
Even I played
I see them and I think stealth, and I can't be bothered. So.
No, Assassin's Creed 2 I hold that so dearly to me, that game. Oh my god!
Just want to go in all guns blazing. Fuck sneaking up on them. Just jump out and shoot the shit out of them.
There's a challenge for Sean here. Complete all the Monty Mole games in 2022.
Accepted. And funnily enough, Eddie is a bugger. He's got me onto another bloody subset, hasn't he? Speaking of Monty Mole, he got me buying that.
Oh, hang on. Let's bring you up on the big screen, mate, because this is a bit of an unusual one, this one.
Yeah.
What the hell?
It's Impossible
on the Jaguar.
On Jaguar.
Wow.
So, I mean, I could actually take his challenge up, but this is sealed. I don't really want to break into it. So, you know what I mean?
Wow. But, you showed that the other day. I didn't even know that came out on the Jaguar.
No, I didn't. The strange thing with this one, is it this one? No, it's another one, isn't it? I think he showed me where It was a Japanese Monty Mole, but they've completely redesigned it. It's not actually a mole; it's a little human. I think it's only the music, the original music, that stays there. So obviously, like I say, set me on this subset. So I bought that as well.
This is going back in time.
This is
Auf Wiedersehen Monty, yeah.
On Commodore.
Oh, wow.
That is a good platformer, but it's hard as nails. They're all hard as nails, these Monty Mole games.
They're terrible games for them, mate, aren't they?
The first in the series on the Commodore. I think I've already got this on Spectrum. Wanted Monty Mole.
See, a lot of people like those old-fashioned covers. That scares the shit out of me, that one does. Stay at that.
Yeah, but I also picked up this, and I can play this because I've now got an Amstrad CPC, courtesy of Mr. and Mrs. Bear, and that was actually my Christmas present from Lorraine. The Amstrad.
Yeah.
So
Auf Wiedersehen Monty,
Auf Wiedersehen Monty again. Well, that's on the Kicks label. So I picked those four up. So technically, these are a little backlog that I can work my way through.
They'll take you a long time because they're buggers of games. They really are, aren't they?
Yeah.
Big Game Al's with us. He's been playing his backlog.
Evening out.
I presume that's games and nothing else that we don't know about. Pete says to unseal your game. Unseal it.
Pete. I'm getting as bad as Dylan. No one will.
Retro Poke fan has both the Cybertron games on the PS3. There's also a Cybertron event on the Wii, which is, I think I've got that one.
Oh, go on, Ben.
Hang on, if it is where I think it is.
Oh.
Yes, it is. Just talk amongst yourselves for a second.
As the whole lot comes to the floor. No, it wouldn't be, but it'd be funny to see.
There we go. So.
Oh yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's the back of it.
I remember the front cover, not the name. If you follow me.
So there's a few Transformers games on the Wii, but
there is a few. Yes.
I've got a couple of them. I've got that one. I've got what's that one? Stealth Force. Oh, Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah.
Another one. Oh, Revenge of the Fallen, and the original one as well. So I've got 4 Transformers games.
There's one called Dark Spark or something Spark. It's on the PS.
Dark of the Moon.
No, there's another one.
There is another one. You are right. Dark Spark or something like that.
Something like that. I haven't got it, but it's hard to find. So I don't know if it's good or bad. If you follow me, because you can't. I've never seen it with my own eyes, but I don't know if it's a good or a bad game.
Eddie says no one. Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah. This is it. We just buy stuff, don't we? We don't.
Did you miss the bit where I said 53,000 in the 360 Gamer Score last year? Then.
Back on the mole, Impossible in Pussy Mole is on the Amiga ST and TurboGrafx 16 as well. Yeah,
they're going to be expensive then.
Is All Spark the one you're thinking
something
of?
Like that. Something Spark. I remember it was called. It's got Optimus Prime on the front cover. That's like he's standing there. I remember that one anyway.
Rise of Dark Spark. There we go. Rise of Dark Spark.
I knew it was something like that. I've never played it, but I've never seen it with my own eyes. If you follow me, I don't know if it's good or bad.
If you like the films, it'll be terrible. But there we go. What do you mean, wow? Come here. It's not that cat from the 1970s commercials about don't go off with strangers then.
No, I enjoyed Bumblebee, to be honest with you, because again, it went back to the Generation 1 Optimus Prime and Soundwave, and but I don't know where they're going with that, because obviously he seems to have died a death.
There's another on PlayStation. There's one which got the original Transformers logo on it. It appears to be hidden behind something. I can't get it out, but it's like I thought. There's obviously the Transformers games based on the films, and there's this other one on the PlayStation 2. It said Transformers the game, and it's got the old
on the
PlayStation
2. There's one that I go on about all the time, which is Transformers game that only was released in Japan, which is all the Generation 1 characters, and it plays like the Dynasty Warriors game, where you pick your Transformer and you have to beat everyone in that area. That game is a spin-off from some of the cartoons, the later cartoons, where Optimus Prime's in it, but the other one on the PlayStation 2, which I've showed a few times, is awesome, and it's all the Generation 1 characters are in it, and it's really, really good. Charlie said, "Until your game."
There's 2 Transformer games in the Famicom as well. Rob's got one there as well, which Transformers the game. That's the Cybertron edition. That's nice.
Yeah, I haven't got many of them ones. They're from the movie ones. I've got the War of Cybertron, the other Cybertron one.
I'm missing 2 of them.
Games. Yeah, I've got those ones rather than the movie games, if you follow me.
Yeah, the only other 2 I've got is these 2. I'm missing a couple of them.
There's so many.
Like I said, Dark of the Moon and Revenge of the Fallen.
Yeah, I've got both of those and the original first one based on the film. Yeah. Transformers on the Spectrum. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Loads of shit's put away again now.
It doesn't say when you come on here. We'll pull stuff out. Yeah. Anything else you want to show off, Lee, that you're trying to clear this year?
Yeah, like I've got some bangers here.
Have you? Yeah.
Well, not me. Anyway,
in your opinion, we should see what the public say.
Right. Let's see what these people. Right. So I upgraded this. I had a cart only, and this went. I got it super cheap, so I had to get it. It's Blue Shadow.
Hang on.
Yeah, I've got some terrible glare. I can't. Blue Shadow, which is is this called? I always forget what this is called in America and in Famicom. It's called Kage or K.
In America, it's what they call Blue Shadow, I expect.
No, it's called Enter the Ninja or Shadow of the Ninja. It's called something. This trust me, this game is awesome, and it got redone by Limited Run Games as well. They've done a special edition of that. So that's an upgrade. This one I've gone back to because I love this game. It's Kabuki Quantum Fighter, which is an awesome game. If you've never played that,
I've never heard of that one.
Oh, it always reminds me of Tron, the movie, because the character is set in a virtual Shadow the Ninja. There we go. Eddie knows what I'm talking about. You're inside like inside a computer, so it's a bit like Tron in a way, but it's an awesome game, really good game. Another good one I pulled out, only unfortunately, but Monster in My Pocket, awesome game.
I never got the craze of those toys.
Well, I'm not that old, but I remember them. They're muscle rubber figures.
Yeah, you're old.
Yeah, all right, I'm old. The muscle figures, my brother had them, and I think the same company made Monsters in My Pocket, so that's actually a good game. Okay. Now I bought a Grail console for myself, and I haven't showed it properly yet. And I bought some games for it, so I'm just going to pull the games out here. This console is I've wanted one for years. It's a Sharp Twin Famicom. It plays disc Famicom games, and obviously it plays the cartridges. And it's obviously Sharp branded. This is like a Grail thing for me. I want one of these.
I hope you wiped it down before you kissed it.
I wanted one for ages because it's so cool. And then the games, come on, like little disc games, and mate, look at this little disc game. Oh my god!
What size though? Are those 3-inch discs, are they?
Bear, you put me on the spot here, mate.
It's like because I've got some Spectrum Plus 3 discs, and I think they're because obviously the ones on the Amiga and the ST are 3.5-inch floppy.
These
and I think they're slightly smaller.
These are definitely smaller.
Yeah.
Now I bought this console just before Christmas. It's been the rubber bands in the belts have been redone, so I can play it all fine. I can't wait to proper show you guys bits and pieces. But I've got I can't think of the name of this game now. This game is basically the Mario Brothers 2, Doki Doki Panic, I think it's called.
Yep.
That's the Mario Brothers 2 version that we got in the UK and in America, if I'm right.
If you can't give us the English version, just give us the Japanese names if you can.
Mario Brothers, and that's Mario Brothers 2, which is, I think that's the harder one. I get confused with the story with them two. And then
is there one called like the Lost Levels? Isn't because if you remember
I think that's what that
yeah,
is.
because I got the Game Boy Color version. It's got Mario Brothers and Mario Brothers: The Lost Levels on it, and I'm pretty sure that one you got in your hand there is what we call the Lost Levels in over here.
Yes,
but is Mario Brothers 2 in Japan?
But I remember
possibly
this was so tough for the American market. That's why they re-shelled Don Pachi, or whatever it's bloody called, Doki Doki Panic. Sorry, Don Pachi is the shooting game. But yeah, that's tough as hell. But then this one, this is why I love Famicom games, and a lot of people don't collect, NTSC or NTSCJ. But look, this is Kung Fu. This is called Spartan X. But look at the artwork on the cover.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's quality, isn't it?
And this plays so fast compared to the PAL version. So I bought that, and then I only ever had 2 Famicom games originally, and one is Mario, and one is probably one of the best games on the NES, barring Mario Brothers 3, is Mighty Final Fight, which is such a good game. Like, I don't know how they got. It's like nowadays, I keep seeing Retro Bait and Ginger Hippie Gaming's videos of get new games on the Spectrums and on the Amstrads, and how they get those games to play. It's how they like this to play on the NES. It's awesome. So I can't wait to do a video on this because it's such a I'm trying to think. I think Sharp was the only branded company that was allowed to use Nintendo stuff. I might be completely wrong, but that's what I remember.
So what inspired you to buy that? We talk about consoles that we'd like to own or whatever as part of this conversation we're having this evening. And I know you did a short video about that over Christmas.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to see why you would have gone for something like that.
So I a couple of years ago I drove over to Holland to see my wife's family who live in Eindhoven, and I drove over went over there and I went to see Wouter. Another great Highlander YouTuber, awesome guy. Like, I love Wouter. Yes. What a great guy. And he said to me, "Oh, Lee, there's in Amsterdam," because we were staying in Amsterdam, but we was driving to Eindhoven, and Wouter lived in Ledenham, which is a beautiful part of Holland. And he said, "Oh, there's a game shop in Amsterdam called Game Over." And I went there, and the shop is tiny. It's a real small shop, but it's fucking packed, floor to ceiling with games, like literally. And the geezer had 10 14-inch CRT TVs, all with different consoles. And he had one of these there. And I'm looking, I'm thinking, I've not seen one of these. I've seen a disc Famicom that goes underneath the Famicom console. I've seen that, the original one when Nintendo brought out, but I've never seen this. And this then it was 200 euros. It was boxed, it was mint, it was modded, and I was umming and ahhing because I didn't know nothing about it. So when I come home, I'm talking 2016, I think this is.
Yeah.
I watched a load of videos about it. John Riggs has done a video about it. Metal G's has done a video about this system. So I was like, you know what? If I ever see one at a decent price, I'll buy one. And then I found one for £100 through the Famicom disc group on Facebook, which Facebook's got so many groups. I found one. £100 delivered, no box, but converted to English UK plug. Belt's been changed and it's been all cleaned. It's not been RGB modded, but I'm happy with that. I'm not.
Yeah.
But it plays and it's lovely. The only bad thing about it is that the controllers are hardwired in. You can't undo them.
All right.
So you have to play it. It's fairly close. You have to play it, but even the controllers have got rapid fire on them. And then the second one's got the, if you can see at the top there, it's got a little microphone. Because in Zelda, one of the Zeldas, you can kill the Poe characters if you shout into controller 2. It's so exciting. But the games itself, they got an extra few layers of colours, and the music is better on the discs, and the games are longer on the disc. There's a slight extra bits on the disc, so technically you're getting a better game. But if you know what I mean,
yeah.
But it's awesome. And then Alex Nintendo Arcade picked one up, boxed for 70 quid, and I was like, so, from eBay as well, we got it.
Yeah, short wires made for Japanese box pump. Yeah,
you're probably right. You're probably right, mate.
It's a great looking system. I must be honest with you. I've not seen. I think I've seen them before. So
there's a red one, and there's the red and black's the main two colours. This is the later model. The earlier ones, it's the same shape, but the writing's curved. But apparently these are better. I mean, that's why I picked these ones. But it's cool. I mean, even the discs, just like in Japan, they had kiosks where you take the floppy disks and you could rewrite games. So be on the street, there'd be a kiosk. You put your game in, and you could download if you want to say download.
Way ahead of its time, then. Yeah.
Oh, mate. Yeah. But it never took off in any other country, which made, even to this day, it makes no sense because the American and the English market was so disc-heavy lovers, especially with Ataris and the Amigas and all the consoles, all the systems that had discs. And we never got it as a PAL system, which still makes no sense to me. Really.
No, we were much happier loading games from tape in those days.
Well, it's just one of them.
Quick question from Eddie. Any games you've had for years you are still yet to play?
I've pulled 2 games out, and I pulled these 2 games out the other day, and I was gonna play them. Adam's Family. These are my original ones from back in the day, and Adam's Family, Pugsley Scavenger Hunt.
Yeah, I've got the loose copy of that.
Yeah, these are my original ones that I got from, I think, Toys R Us or something back in the day, and I pulled them out, and I thought, you know what? Because they're so different. This plays, they're both made by Ocean, but they play so different. I mean, this one's more cartoony in the graphics, and this one's an early Super Nintendo game, so it's still nice, but it's not as nice as this one, I think. But people remember that one more. So I'm going back to play them more. That's what I pulled out. There's a few other bits I've got here as well, but there's I've got so many games. It's just mad to try and pull lots out. I pulled a few out.
Yeah, it is. So we got to try and prioritise. So one we talked about earlier about doing maybe a game a month or a couple of games a month or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Rob's pulled out some monsters in his pocket as well, by the looks of it. There you go.
Yeah, they turned up in bags of crap on Charity Shop Tack Gold, and they're not crap.
Yes.
Yeah, I think this, because with the pocket monsters or pocket monster in my pocket, sorry. Each level you have to be a different monster, and they all have different abilities. And it was a really good game. And obviously, Palcom is Konami, because obviously back then they could only release so many games a year, or whatever the rules was with Nintendo. You had Ultra, Palcom, were all branches of Konami. So it's a Konami game. But
again, I need to play that. I used to have. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened to my ones as kids, but as a kid, but these ones I found obviously since have just turned up. But I love Monsters in my Pocket as a kid, so I didn't actually know about that game, so I need to play it. My Nintendo knowledge is shocking, so please excuse me.
No, listen, I mean, I got this off a YouTuber. His name then was Atari Fitness, Colin Robinson. I don't know if he still does YouTube because I've not seen him pop up. But I traded an Atari ST for a load of NES games. I had a big Atari ST bundle I picked up. And I traded him for a load of games, and this was one of the games. And it's a real good game. So each level is a different character. You get to be Dracula, the monster from the Black Lagoon. Is that what or whatever he's called? It's a good little game. It's a good little.
Yeah, no, I'll have to give it a bash, mate. I'll have to give it a bash.
Paul says the Addams Family one was a film tie, and the other one was not. That's why they seem different. Retro Poke fan says. Second one's actually based off a Hanna-Barbera cartoon from the 1990s, which is absolutely right. So.
I definitely recommend you guys to, because obviously I can't, if I can show you the back of the box, but it's not doing justice. But if you go and look at how different they both are graphically, this one's more appealing to the eye, and then obviously that one's more, it's a film tie-in, but the graphics are completely different. That's why I thought, I want to play them because it's been such a long time, and I don't know how I got these so long ago. I don't even I'm guessing when they first come out years ago back in the day.
Well, we'll have to see if you get around to playing them. Then you'll have to give us an update later on or something like that later in the year. Let's just see how we get on with it.
I'll have to, mate.
Do a follow-up show. I mean, in terms of systems that I'd like, I don't think there's any system I really want now. I think I've pretty much got everything that I'd like. The only thing I'd want really, just for say I've got one, is a PC Engine, because when I was growing up and reading the games magazines, obviously there was huge talk about that. There was the R-Type screenshots, and we saw this white console coming over from Japan. It looked absolutely fantastic, and of course we didn't actually get the proper release over here. So I think just to have one is what I would like to get this year, maybe a couple of games. But I've got the Mini, which I'm happy with, because I can play the games on that. Mini's great. Mini's a fantastic piece of kit. I really do like it. But I'd like to get a proper white one and just say I've got one. That's really. But I mean, in terms of consoles and things, the other one I may have thought about would have been a Lynx, but then I got the Evercade cartridges for the Lynx games, and I was distinctly unimpressed with them. But so I thought, you know what, I can pass by that one now. I don't really need a Lynx anymore. Jaguar for curiosity, but again, it would just be curiosity. It's a lot of money just to say, oh, I'll have a Jaguar because I've never had one before, but would actually sit down and play it? Probably not. So. I
bought a Jaguar off Ross from Swap Shop, and I've only bought it to play Alien vs Predator. Like, I've played it, but I want to play it at home. I played it. I can't remember which one of the shops back in the day had it, and I played it, and I was like, "This is pretty cool." But obviously now, but I want to get Alien vs Predator for the Jaguar.
There was an Uncle Fester game. Yeah, that was pretty terrible.
Yes,
Dylan's here. Kung Fu Master is awesome.
The Famicom version plays so much faster compared to the PAL NES version. I was like, bloody hell, like, it's really fast. The NES version's quite slow. This is super fast. I was shocked, but it's again, the box art was unreal. There's
a 2600 version of Kung Fu Master as well.
Kung Fu Master.
Because I had that when it came out.
Okay.
Commodore version's pretty good and all.
Commodore versions, the home versions. I've been playing the Commodore version around a friend's house, but I had the 2600. Paul said all the Atari stuff on the Evercade sucked. I like the old Atari stuff.
I think it's one of those, isn't it? If you've got nostalgia for it, you're gonna stomach it. I think for it.
Yeah, I've said this many times to people. If you grew up like I did playing that, there is a nostalgia attached to it, and same with the take games. Sean will probably agree with me on that one. If you're going up playing those, and that's what you're going to come back to the best. So,
I would. I'm hopefully going to get a Vectrex not too long. Oh, whatever. I'm hopefully going to get one soon. Sorry, I should say.
Yeah. I mean, I've now pretty much got everything I want. I have moved a few consoles on, and I'd like to think that I've pretty much got mainly the main 8-bit computers, the Spectrum, Commodore, and now obviously the Amstrad. I would actually like, and I don't know why, probably more curiosity than no, is a Dragon 32, and
cool name.
I know where you can get one of those from.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, I do know. I do know. Yeah, I know where you can get one of them from. Yeah. Sorry, mate. Why would you want a Dragon 32 anyway?
I don't really know. It stems back to obviously when I used to, probably when I had my first Spectrum. I don't know. At the time, there were all sorts of microcomputers coming out, and I think the Dragon 32 I saw stuff about it and I thought, I don't mind that. I think it was more of a chunkier computer, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken. But I don't know. It's just probably, I think that, it's probably one of the 8-bit microcomputers that would probably finish off a set, if you like. Like I said, I've got the main three. Even Electron, I'd probably fancy an Electron. I did have one, but it didn't work. I have no idea what happened to that, in all honesty. But I mean, it weren't a great computer. I don't think anyway. The Electron, it was quite basic, but I don't know. It's just a nostalgia thing, really. But yeah, if I were to add anything to me, computer or console collection, I think I'd go with Dragon 32 and maybe Acorn Electron. But for consoles, I don't know. I don't know why. I've moved a lot of them on, like I said, so I don't really want to
start again.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I really haven't got space for else. Probably, if I move a few more things, I might.
There's a lot of Vectrex love in the chat. We've just seen a few comments here. Dylan and Lee saying they're both interested in that.
Definitely. Hopefully, I'm going to get one off. Ginger Hippie's got one. I'm trying to sell it, so hopefully, I'm going to drive up to see him. I'll be acquiring that off him for some cash. I need to get multi-car, obviously. I have to speak to a few people. It's just something different, it's for something that's such a long time ago. It's never been redone.
Yeah.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? It's one of them, isn't it?
I think it was incredibly different when it came out.
Yes.
And I think when it came out, it probably came out at the wrong time because the general opinion with computer games and video games at that time was very low. So it tried to be a little bit different and do something. And I think it looks great. I mean, they're very expensive. This is probably what I will never get one. But
it's one of those. What's that saying? It's nice to have, or nice to, or whatever the saying is. Like one of them ones. It's nice to look at it, but again, I know I'm going to buy it. Am I really going to play it?
It's justification on it, isn't it? Really, I think as Eddie said a few comments ago, we're talking about backlogs, and we're talking about buying stuff, which is, and there we go. This is the backlog stream, and we're talking about what we want to buy. We need to go to rehab. Which I think is absolutely
this
right.
Is the rehab, Eddie. This is the rehab. Bear is the Dr. Bear.
This is the therapy.
I feel any better. I'm done console-wise, to be honest with you. I'm done. I got what I wanted last year, and I'm done. I had the PS3 model, which plays 1 and 2. I've got the Retron 5 thing, for all my kart stuff if I want to play it physically. But I've got to be honest with you, dirty word here, emulation. Got the modded OG Xbox that Sean kindly got us with all them libraries on, so I'm happy with that. But the biggest aim for me last year was to get an American 360, a Japanese 360, and have all three set up under my TV, which I have got, and all ready to go at a change of a cable. I ain't got the best setup here. I ain't got many places to put things, so a change of literally a HDMI label, any of them is ready to go.
Nice.
And that was my main goal last year, and I've got all three. And obviously, that's the market I'm dipping into now. I mean, we were talking about Japanese games earlier. Dylan's even in the chat now. I mean, I could get a few that I want to, obviously, that I've got that I haven't got round to yet, and we can go back to backlog. But obviously, in this country, we had one Chambara Bikini Samurai Squad, but this is, there's the words, one Chambara Z Kagura. So I hope I pronounced that right. Again, much better artwork in it, and let's be honest, it's nice to look at, isn't it? But we got the shooting games which are going to test my pronunciations. Here we go. Right.
Oh, good. There we go.
I think this is was it Mushihime Sema Fatari version 1.5. Yes. I think I did all right there. I've got that for an absolute fucking steal. Absolute steal, that one. And then at the London Gaming Market, I got Ketsui Kazuno Jukoku Taki Extra. Again, I think that's not too far off.
He's been practicing these.
I literally have. I have. When I first picked these up, I wanted to know what they called, and I wanted to be able to say them. So that's what I did there.
I'm just waiting for the day that when Big Game Al starts collecting Japanese games. And
I need to do that. I need to do that. But this was in the last pickups video I did. This is Senko no Ronde Duo. This is the one I thought I was buying at the London Gaming Market, but I wasn't buying the Duo one, which is actually the Japanese version of Vortex. Vortex. I can't remember the one over here that we got.
We're going so well.
Vortex Senko no Ronde. But yeah. But anyway, as I said, this is mint. And again, just much better artwork they've got over there. It's fucking beautiful. I love it.
Well,
but yeah, managed to get that as well.
It's amazing, like the Japanese artwork. Like you can't beat it. I mean, I've got something I picked up from another tuber. Look at that! Look.
Yeah. Oh, that's probably the least impressive one, to be honest with you. But since we've got Dylan in the chat, I've actually forgotten what this one's called. Dylan, type as fast as you can. Go. I think it's quite simply called something like Shooting Love 200X. I think. Can't remember. But it's got apparently it's got lots of little. It's got more than one game on it. So they're all shooters, obviously.
Give him a second, because he's just using one finger to type at the moment. So.
Yeah. Listen.
There you go. It was
Shooting Love. He's put Shooting Love.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dylan.
Yeah. But that's the thing. You can't get away from the Japanese artwork. I mean, like this.
Yeah, I think I like that one there. I think probably out of a lot of them, perhaps.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, it's you can't, and we never got any of that. When we probably no, it's like I've got one here. Like I said, I picked this up off another tuber, Ali, 16 bits and bobs, awesome tuber. I got Gunstar Heroes off him. Okay. So I've already got Gunstar Heroes, but I wanted the Japanese version because it is so much more better. Like, literally, it's just awesome. Look at the artwork.
Yeah, but he doesn't tell you anything about the game.
That's fine.
But you know, when I pick a game up, I look at the back of the box and see what it's all about. Then I want to read it.
Well, you can see a few pictures. I mean, look, there's another one I got off him as well. Another. This is the Japanese version of Gran Turismo, and look how good this is compared to what we got. You got a Supra, and I believe that's a Skyline on the other side. I'm not 100% sure, but. We've got just a GT. Look at the artwork.
What's the back of the box say?
Well,
yeah, there we go.
It says import. It says import on that side.
You didn't get any bloody screenshots with it. Oh dear.
No, it's terrible. I mean, but it's just even like I've got this one as well. I mean, this is the Resident Evil 2, the PlayStation 1 version. Even that's a lot better.
See, that's nice. I like that.
Yeah, this is the American version. We can read American just about.
Yeah.
That's so. But yeah, but Rob was showing Don Don Pachi and Death Smile. No, sorry, the two.
No, they're both Death Smiles, but this is just a case of where I think both are nice.
Yes.
Like we got a nice one here, but theirs is probably still is slightly better.
I think it's a draw.
It's a draw. Although this is where Dylan's going to say this is wrong because he's right. I think the Sabi James title, this is still sealed. Yeah, it's not supposed to be a platinum one in that box, but I got platinum one in that box. But it was bloody cheap. That's probably why. But there we go. So still sealed, okay. Dylan. Sealed.
Speaking of backlogs, lots of messages to get through. Just give me a second, Rod. Just try and catch up some of these. Hang on. Scott Glory on to say we mind getting NES back with games we used to have. Dylan says had to be a certain age to appreciate the Atari. Grew up with it, loved it, but then I was 6 at the time. Same with me. That's it. Pete says Dragon 64 is one to keep. Paul says he would like an MSX. An apricot, which I know Pedro's got hold of at some point. Ross says the only one I really want to get just because I no longer have one is a 32X. Horatio Van Basten, rubber keyed 48K and a +2 for me. Love the +2s. That's such a fantastic look. FM Towns Marty would be nice, yeah. I mean, that would be.
Jay had one of those. I don't know if he's still got it because he bought it because Splatterhouse was obviously the arcade perfect version on it.
Backlog is real. I'll never play every game I own, and I ain't got the biggest collection.
He's got to unseal them first.
Vectrek's a bit temperamental. Nintendo Arcade should sell me one of his Vectrex.
He's got 2, the filthy animal.
I'm sure Alex will be persuaded if the price was right. I'm just scanning through here. Spare with me a second. Up there, if you put it in the system, you can find out what it's like. Then that's a good idea. I could do that, couldn't I? It takes away the fun of it, though, doesn't it? You know, I don't know what it's going to look like, so I'll better just leave it where it is. Yeah, sorry, Rob. Didn't mean to cut you off there. Just running behind the messages, mate.
Do you know anybody? Lee, do you know anybody that's got a Sharp 68,000? There.
That's the rest of it.
Wicked machines, but I expect they're expensive.
I mean, like Alex, Nintendo Arcade's got his finger in many pies with many people, so he's always someone to ask. Sega Zombie's another person to ask. You know, they know a lot of people in the community, so you never know. Look at the artwork.
Yeah, it's stunning, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I'd love to know.
The only one I played so far, I'm working through them. Probably played the I don't want to say the worst one because it's still not a bad little game, but the others are supposed to be better. But I thought I'd start at the bottom and start with Automedia's Gorgeous. But yeah, that's the one that I thought was the duo, but it's not.
Yeah, Craig's here again. But
I was going to say, I'm still dipping in the Japanese market, so I'm very uneducated, and I thought I was buying an exclusive, and that's not. Hang on.
He's rummaging again. I see what the state of his games room is. Just while he's doing that. The Hobby Lodge says, I think this year we'll have a C64 Master System, Amiga 1200, and a Speccy Plus 2. I thought you got some deep pockets there, mate, because that's going to set you back a few quid.
Yeah, it is.
Especially the Amiga 1200.
Wartech. Okay. Look at the artwork. But what I'd love to know is, who is the person who says, right, forget that artwork, forget all that money they spent in Japan, we're going to go with this one. We're going to go with Spot the Dog. Who is that person?
Banksy.
Like,
it's got to be in it. Only person I could think of.
It's just a joke. It's just even like from the Famicom games and the Super Famicom and then the Master System and the Mega Drive and the box art from Japan was unreal.
Paul's after a Game Gear and then just a PS5 as well.
I would like a PS5, but there's nothing out that wants me to buy one, if you follow me. There's no game. If they said on release date there's an Uncharted 5 or a Last of Us 3, yes. But there isn't. Same as the Xbox Series X. They didn't release Halo. They didn't release a Gears of War. So I didn't bother with any of them yet. So that's how I see it. You're bringing out your new system, and technically you've got no game to play on it. If you follow me, there's no real.
The confusion with the Series X is a lot of people don't realise is that they said that they were supporting the Xbox One and the Series X. So every game that they made for I can't remember, it was a year or 2 years would be able to be played on the Xbox One. So therefore, it wasn't an exclusive to the Series X because you could play it on your one as well or something. So that was the idea. They were supporting both of them for a couple of years. But Halo Infinite, again, it just got delayed because, again, who wants a broken game? Look at Cyberpunk. You know, so it wasn't ready, so they didn't release it. But I know some people made stupid videos about the fact they released the multiplayer stuff without the campaign. But I was just like, well, if the multiplayer stuff's ready and the campaign isn't, why not let the people who love the multiplayer stuff have their fun straight away? But look at it now. It was, by all means, it was well worth the wait. I'm not a Halo person, but everyone I've spoken to about who loves their Halo has said that it's the best game since Halo 3.
Listen, I've got no doubt when I play it, it's going to blow me away. But my argument is the PS5 and the Series X didn't need to come out last year.
No,
I agree with you.
They could have waited. Look, the backlog is real. Not even on PS4. I hadn't even pulled out a PS4 game. The backlog is real. So for me, the PS4 is an awesome console. The PS5, if they said tomorrow Uncharted 5 is coming out, I'll be the first person to order one. No word of a lie. But it's not. So I'm not jumping on it. Xbox as well. Like Gears of War 6 was to come out.
Not long had 5, mate, so you're going to be waiting a while for that.
But I'll be on it. I don't see why they should have just waited. I don't see the point.
Do you know what? The one thing that is worth it, and I'm going to say it, is anything that's in the backwards compatible library. Literally, if you put it in that Series X, it is like playing a different game. It just. Do you know what? I think I was playing. I think it was Mortal Kombat, and I was playing with Ross, and he was on his 360 while I was on my Series X, and the load times, which was the difference was ridiculous. But it's also how they play as well. It's oh my god, it's so much smoother. It's ridiculous. You don't realise it until you play it on the newer console. So for me, it was worth it for the upscaling as well.
Well, look, like God of War.
Where are we?
He's put that from. See, yeah, when that is released, obviously I'll buy one. And Eddie's put Uncharted 4 was the last game in the series. Yeah, it was the last game in the series. But that's what I'm saying. If that was the leading game for the console, they would have sold even more if they had them, because no one fucking had them, did they?
I think what you're trying to get at is you wanted a flagship title to be announced before it came out.
When I got my Super NES, I got Mario World and Street Fighter. When I got my PlayStation 1, I got Tomb Raider, Ridge Racer, Destruction in Derby, like the stellar title. When I got my Saturn, I got Daytona, Sega Rally. You got those stellar titles. And I just don't think Series X and the PS5 have done that.
No. That's right.
Just a few comments. Martin said he's had a new console this weekend, but looked about a 500 or a Mega CD. Hobby Lodge's PS5 is collecting dust. Chrissy uses his PS5.
That is spot on, is Ross.
There we go.
Yeah. Oh.
So Paul wanted to see Jack Skellington earlier, so I've changed my angle.
Oh, there we go. Yep. Horizon Forbidden West is all I want the PS5. Seems on the plate of PS4 Pro. Paul says agree, which is why he didn't pre-rush the PS5. His Series X is fantastic because it will play every game without needing to buy different versions. Lee's lads getting a great deal out of their PS5, which is good. Pete Fighter says the PS5 and Series X exclusive are not financially viable at the minute. Sure, the consoles right now. If people can't get the console, they can't get the games. They would make less money. Strange that both new consoles are pig ugly. I agree with that. Stuart says PS5 is whisper quiet and loading times are exceptional.
But I would expect that from a new console. People, this is what annoys me about some people say things like that. What did you expect it to be? It's a brand new console. Like, obviously, it's going to be better. You know what I mean?
The funny thing about the Series X, we've gone on a major tangent here, haven't we? Funny thing about Series X is, like, obviously, being upright, it doesn't fit under my TV, so it kind of stands on top but slightly behind it. And because it's black and upright, you just don't see it. And the funny thing, I went around a mate of mine. So ironically, we went for a horror movie night on Halloween, and I was like, "Where's your Series X?" And he said, "Oh, it's behind the TV. It don't fit anywhere else." So it's almost, and because they're so short, you don't even notice them. So it's almost, it's at an angle behind the TV, and you hardly see it. It doesn't need to be ugly or pretty, because you just don't see it because of where I need to put it.
Yeah.
MSX is great, especially the Kenobi games on cartridge. I must admit, MSX is one system that's completely passed me by on this one. But Retro Dome Music recommends that one. Rob, ignore the grease. You hit nail on the head. In front of all the difference, I tried my games on the original, then on the X, then the 360, and on the X. The difference is fantastic.
Well, I hope so, for the money you paid for it.
Yeah, Lee says the PS5 upscale the PS4 is pretty good.
Yeah, again, I hope so, because again, you paid 500 quid for it. If it's not any better, then what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
Maybe more Uncharted games, as Scott says there.
Why would they not? Why? Like, look what Generation Pixels put at the bottom there, Bear. Why would they? Uncharted, they finish it too early, obviously, but it's such a lot of people bought PS3s and PS4s to play Uncharted 4 and the other games. They're such a good game, same as Last of Us.
Yeah. It's the big sellers.
PlayStation. Yeah. Do you think they're going to sit on that? They ain't going to sit on that.
No.
Totally agree. New generation consoles ridiculous to launch without exclusive new games. Says Sega Zombie. Yeah. Martin says, "Do new consoles need the launch title? What counts as a major launch title? GameCube had Luigi's Mansion and Rogue Squadron 2, both stellar titles, but no Mario Zelda game available at launch," which is correct.
It is true.
Rob said he would say no, wouldn't say no to a Mega CD or a Dreamcast. I wouldn't say no to a Mega CD. I've forgotten about that. But again, just for the sake I've got one. Last of Us. Yeah, Dreamcast, one of your favourites, isn't it, Rob? So it's one of those great little console. The Last Arcade, wasn't it? You called it, I think. Last Arcade. Pedro says Last of Us isn't a game; it's an interactive film and not a Metroid.
I call it an on-rail shooter because you can't go anywhere other than when you need to go. You can't go off on a tangent anywhere. You got to stay. Sly Raccoon. Yes, I would love to see another Sly Raccoon.
Yeah, lots of opinions and thoughts there from everybody, which is it's good to have these debates. And why would you not sit on that IP? Microsoft, Nintendo sat on IP for years and just bringing it back now.
Well, Nintendo sat on stuff too long. I think that's the problem. They sat on stuff too long.
We need some more Rare games.
100%. 100%. Metroid took forever to come out. Same as like Castlevania. I mean, I know it's not a Nintendo game, but in my little stupid head, Castlevania's on a Nintendo. I played it on the NES. I know it's not. Same as like Kid Icarus. Why is Kid Icarus not being played? F-Zero.
F-Zero is one of those that surprises me. We're not seeing an F-Zero game. GameCube, I think, was the last one I played it on.
I remember I had this discussion on the swap shop. Someone was saying, I think it might have been Dylan, saying Game Boy Advance was the last F-Zero games we got. But yeah, there's loads. Listen, you could talk all night. There's so many. Jack Skellington is awesome.
The Switch does need an F-Zero game. I agree with Lee there as well. Just to look how lovely the Sony Hitbit looks like. What is a Sony Hitbit?
No idea.
I'm confused with that one.
I've had a few beers, but I'm not that fun yet.
That's definitely one that's passed me by anyway. Right, guys, anything to add before we wind up for the evening? Anybody want to say anything else at all for what we spoke about? Or
No, I think I'm covered.
That's good. Okay. All right. Well, we'll draw a line under that for tonight anyway. Thanks to everybody putting the comments in the chat. That's really sort of inspired some debate there as we go in along. And if you've got your own thoughts, opinions, please put them in the comments below, and we'll try and respond to those as well. But thank you for everybody being here tonight and contributing to a very good conversation. And thanks indeed to all the guests as well who've called in tonight. Lee, Sean and Rob, great to have you here. Just a quick thing. Oh, Hitbit. Hitbit is an MSX, isn't it? There we go.
I'm sorry.
No, is that?
Sean's fireplace looks like a pocket station. Oh dear. There we go. Right. Well, thanks so much for coming in, guys. Rob, great to have you back with us again for the first time in a while. I know you've been busy with work, but it's good to have you back, mate. Hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Hopefully, mate, yeah. Once I go back to doing days as well as nights and I get a stab in the arm for my tendonitis, we'll be all good, hopefully.
Lovely. I'll just drop you backstage, mate. We'll have a quick chat afterwards. But thanks again for this evening, mate, and we'll see you again soon.
No problem. Ciao, ciao.
Sean, thanks for wolfing your tea down again here on time, mate. Even though you've turned up with the wrong subject, but that's fine.
Littlewood's catalogue is in 2 weeks' time. Right?
No, it's always good to have you on, mate. You know, I always say that,
mate,
and I know you like doing these, so it's good to have you, mate. We'll have a chat shortly, and we'll have that.
It's nice to see Lee again.
We'll have that back catalogue in a few weeks' time, mate. All right. Just drop you back. And a big thank you to our special guest this evening, the Retro Chef.
No problem.
All the way from Essex. No, thank you very much, mate. It's been a pleasure to have you on, and thank you for bringing all your kit with you and enlightening us all. It's been great to have you on.
No problem. Anytime, Ben. You know that, mate.
Yeah, lovely. When's your next swap shop, by the way, mate? Just while you're on.
The 30th of January, the last Sunday of every month now will be swap shop to give myself and the tubers time to collect stuff, because I've heard people say, "Oh, I've only just looked today, and we're going live in 2 hours." So I'm like, so gives the guys a bit more time to get things, guys or girls, I should say. Sorry, my apologies, guys or girls, time to get things together, and at the same time, let everyone know when it's on properly. Give you a bit more of a staple time. Plus, as well, gives me more time to do other stuff. Like I said to you, I can play golf once the weather turns because I haven't played golf for so long.
That's it. Yeah,
and make videos, obviously, for YouTube.
That's it. Well, that's a good thing. So now I'm hopefully we'll see on the Wrestle Talk again and all that.
Oh,
so
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Good to do it. It's been a pleasure, mate. Thank you very much for having us. I'll put you back stream for the moment, and we'll have a chat in a moment. All right, good, mate. There we go. So yeah, bit of a strange start to the show. The people not arriving on time, but we got there in the end. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much to everybody who's been in the chat tonight and has popped in and either watched and listened to what we've been talking about or commented as well. It's always good to have that debate going on. We're back in 2 weeks' time. We've got a special guest lined up already. That's the 23rd of January for episode number 47. At the same time, 8 o'clock on this channel. Not sure who tNb will be having in, but the special guest is already lined up. We hope to see you then. But in the meantime, have a safe journey home. Thank you very much indeed for tuning in. On behalf of all my guests this evening, thank you. This is Retro Bear saying, it's been good. 2022 is off to a good start. Thanks very much for being with us. We'll see you again soon.